If you're not charging change orders, you're either getting taken advantage of or you're missing out on thousands of dollars in your projects. My name is Daniel Quindemil and I am a master at change orders. Actually, my nickname used to be the Teddy Bear Killer because on the outside, I have this like nice calm demeanor, but when it came to construction management and change orders, I was a killer. In the last few videos I've recorded recently, I've actually talked about our change order strategy, about how to use change orders for your benefit on the projects. And I've also talked about the strategy behind it. And in this video, I'm actually gonna go step by step on the screen, showing you how to write a change order, or the only way to write a change order. So let's recap. So what is a change order? A change order is an addendum to your contract. So whenever a client issues you a contract, there's typically gonna be a scope of work. There's gonna be scope of work, schedules, there's a bunch of like details and terms and conditions, and the majority of where change orders come from are gonna be from the exhibit that has the scopes of work. And anything that deviates from that scope means a change. And it could be a change of cost, a change of schedule, a change of material, anything like that. Recently, one of my clients, we helped them win a project, and he calls me one day upset, "Hey, you didn't calculate the labor costs right." I'm like negative, and I'm like, wait, hold on, let's look at this. So me and him jumped on a Zoom, we started looking at the numbers, and he tells me, "Oh, they're asking me to paint the additional rooms, to demo all this extra stuff, and none of that was in the estimate." And I go, hold on, that's not in your scope of work. And he goes, "What's the scope of work?" And I couldn't believe that he didn't know what it was. But then again, that's why I'm making this video, because a lot of contractors, a lot of my clients, especially the guys coming from residential into commercial, or the smaller commercial guys, there's not a school out there that can teach you how to do this stuff. And that's why I make these videos. So that being said, change orders occur for the following reasons. Now, there are many reasons, but these are the main ones. The first reason is owner changes. So whenever a project gets issued over the course of the construction, as it gets built, there's going to be issues that arise. The owner might go to the job site and say, "Hey, I want to move the walls. The rooms are too small. The offices are too big. Maybe we got to move them." Or, "Hey, I want to change the paint color." Or, "Hey, I want to revise the layout slightly to add or to subtract things." So these are changes that are caused by the owner. When I say owner, I also mean the architect. Sometimes architects come in and they decide that they want to change a bunch of stuff, and they keep you on the job longer. Number two, mistakes in the plans. So oftentimes the architect will make mistakes. Architects are human, and unfortunately the person that pays for it is the owner. So any mistakes in the plans, often, if you are a good contractor, you should be bringing these mistakes up to your client. But if you don't, things come up, then these are change orders. Number three, inspectors requiring additional things that aren't in the plans. So I've been on many job sites where things will be missed in the plan review, and when inspectors show up to the job site, they start asking for additional requirements to meet the code. Once I had an issue with VAV where it had to get changed and adjusted because it wasn't passing some sort of code. Another time there was an access panel issue, that panel had to be bigger because of some units above had to be able to fit. Another time I had an issue with ADA because according to the way the architect drew it, it's fine, but then the inspector showed up and the way he was measuring was different than what the architect did. So that caused change orders. Things like that will happen on your job sites. Four, other trades breaking your stuff. So a lot of times, these are called back charges. A lot of times, let's say you put up the framing and the plumber comes in and cuts up your framing to run his pipes, or the electrician cuts it up. These are going to be things that occur on the job site. Whenever you go back to fix it, you're going to have to add costs for that. And anything else that deviates from the plans or your contract. Keep in mind that your contract documents is your contract, your plans, and any specifications and addendums, and any other sketches or anything that's put together in that contract set. All that you own in your contract. So make sure you read your stuff carefully so that nobody sneaks anything in and you don't miss anything. Enough with the boring stuff. Let's go into how to write the change order. All right, so this is a change order. A change order is gonna have three parts, okay? Three parts. The first sheet is gonna be the information, which is actually gonna be your cover sheet. This is gonna have the change order number, all of the information for your client, the amount. This is like a mini contract. So this is an actual change order that I helped one of my clients. We did their project management for them. So in the first sheet, you're gonna have all this information, and I'll go through it in a second. On the second sheet, you're gonna have the cost breakdowns. And then behind that, all the additional documents, the emails, the time and material tickets, the shipping receipts, the order, whenever you have to buy something at the store or a supplier, all that has to get put in there. So I want you to think of preparing a change order kind of like preparing a legal case. So we're not suing anybody. However, we need to state our case. Let's talk about this specific scenario. So in this scenario, the general contractor asked my client, who was the drywall and framing contractor, to make some additional changes to the platform framing. So at the top, you're gonna have the change order number. So this is change order number 7. You're gonna have, or some people like to call it potential change order because it's not official yet until it's a change order, but that's being very specific. To my knowledge, there's no legal stipulation regarding that. And by the way, any of this in terms of legal issues, I'm not an attorney, so I'm just giving you the construction management side of things. So any attorney or legal questions, go ahead and consult your attorney. So here you're gonna have the change order number, you're gonna have your title, you're gonna have the client's information, because remember, this is an addendum to the contract. We're making an addendum to the Soul Cycle project. This is the date, this is the client that you're sending it to. Here's your description, your total change order amount, and then here are the signatures. So the way it would work legally is you send off the change order to your client, they review, they approve it, they're gonna sign this side right over here, the general contractor. And then the subcontractor, which is you're gonna sign on this side. By the way, I'm gonna give you this template in the link below. So in the description, you're gonna see a link so you can actually download that template. So this is gonna be the actual document that you're gonna submit. You're also gonna back it up. You're gonna submit everything, but behind this, you're gonna attach this. So keep in mind, this is the legal document, like your contract. Think of this as like your proposal, and this is like your estimate, kind of like that. So here we're gonna have our cost breakdown, materials. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna calculate all of the materials that it costs you. And because you're having to go out of your way to go buy this stuff, you could charge premium rates here. Don't let your general contractor know that though. Drywall's costing you 12 bucks, charge 20, for example. And the way the justification for it is that's the delivery and the handling cost. So if they ever ask. Now, if you attach receipts, that's gonna be a little different. You're gonna have to put the exact total of what the receipts are. So what I usually do is I'll break down what everything costs or what I think it's gonna cost. In this specific case, this was a change order that was submitted after the work was performed based on time and material tickets. I picked this one because it has everything. It has T&M tickets, it has the breakdown, it has the supplier receipt, all that stuff. So that's why I picked this specific change order. But normally before you do the work, you're gonna estimate the materials you're gonna need. Got a little mini material list. Then next, you're gonna have the labor breakdown. Here, you're gonna just, in Excel, you're gonna have a formulas for all this stuff, and you're gonna calculate. So here's the pro tip. You wanna give yourself extra time as a buffer. So if you think it's gonna take you 2 guys 8 hours each, so 16 hours in total, you wanna give yourself an extra day, just in case. Because you never know if there's something comes up, and also, it's really an estimate. So we don't know how much this is gonna cost. When it comes to change orders, you wanna be as aggressive as possible, okay? These guys, and don't feel bad, these guys take 30, 45, 90 days to pay you sometimes. Therefore, we're gonna be aggressive in our change orders. All right, and then here you got your totals. You have your material total, labor, subtotal, all that stuff, overhead and profit. A lot of GCs are gonna ask you for all this information ahead of time, like what your labor hours are, what your overhead and profit is. Very important that the hours that you input in here, the rates, are gonna be burden rates, which means payroll, taxes, workers' comp, insurance, all that stuff all in. And as a matter of fact, if you're paying your guys, let's say 20 bucks an hour or 30 bucks an hour, add those costs in and then put money on top of that. Again, the worst that could happen is the GC comes back and says, or the owner comes back and says, oh, that's too expensive. And then you have to make an adjustment. And then behind that, you want to add on anything that proves your case. Pictures. In this case, there was an email from the superintendent. I highlighted it, so you can use any sort of PDF editor to highlight. Basically, that shows the authorization to do time and material tickets. Then here is a time and material ticket, how many hours, the materials signed by the superintendent, and then we have the material ticket. So this is a complete set for the change order. So it is an undeniable proof. The only one more step that we could have added if we wanted to is we could have taken pictures doing the work, or we could have taken pictures of the work before and after, so that where there could be proof. You got to think of it as one day, if you ever have a legal issue, you want to be able to have everything documented. Okay, so you want to prepare everything in one shot. So I've actually made these templates for you. They're going to be in the description below. Normally I charge for this, and it's part of my 8-figure contractor sales academy, which the link to that is going to be below also, but you can actually download this below also.